across the horizon. Where is my lucky star tonight? Seventh sister of the Pleiades walks in beauty like the night. Oh, that is best, dark and now lost to me. Only trust in a northern star. That's the only point that's fixed. I once believed in love. Even love cannot bridge this rift. Where is my lucky star to
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. Night Dreams Talk Radio Network brings you the World Paranormal News with James Creechbaum. Now, the latest news.
I'm James Creechbaum with the Paranormal and World News, and came in later, this morning, 143 new Nazca geoglyphs discovered in Peru. Researchers have used an artificial intelligence to identify previously unseen drawings on the desert floor. Situated on a remote, arid plateau in southern Peru, the Nazca lines are a series of spectacular artistic designs, including images of spiders, monkeys, hummingbirds, fish, and lizards, which were etched in the ground more than 2,000 years ago. Now, researchers from Japan's Yamagata University have revealed that the discovery of 143 additional geoglyphs dating back to between 100 BCE and 300 CE. The team used an IBM artificial intelligence system to analyze large amounts of high-resolution satellite and drone imagery and to look for the telltale signs of man-made markings. Many of these had mostly worn away and would have been next to impossible to spot otherwise. All of these figures were created by removing the black stones that cover the land, thereby exposing the white sand beneath. While nobody is quite sure exactly why the geoglyphs were created, some researchers believe that they were designed to be seen by deities up in the sky, or that they had astronomical significance. The fact that they had been designed to be seen only from high above has long made them a particularly fascinating phenomenon. Now, physicists are countless. Say there are countless parallel universes with different us in each one of them. The theory of many worlds implies the existence of countless other similar but different universes, reports Futurism.com. The idea that we are living in one of the near identical realities that are practically limitless is nothing new. You may have died in a car accident last month in one universe, for example, while in another you may have become the United States president. In at least one of these worlds, every possible thing has occurred. Every version of history has played out somewhere. Physicists from California Institute of Technology delves into this concept in more detail in the book Deeply Hidden, Something Deeply Hidden. It's absolutely possible that there are multiple worlds where you made different decisions. He said in a recent interview with NBC, we're just obeying the laws of physics. We don't know whether the number of worlds is infinite or finite. but it's certainly a very large number. Each decision a person makes can, according to the theory, split reality into two new iterations, each following a different outcome. Now, the scientist also claims on this basis that parallel universe may not be located at any given place or time, but may instead exist relative to the observer. Such a theory would not be shocking in the strange world of quantum mechanics. Before you look at an object, whether it's an electron or an atom or whatever, it's not in any definite location, said the scientist. It might be more likely that you observe it in one place or another, but it's not actually located in any particular place. Now, declassified CIA documents show they saw ancient civilizations on Mars. Even though there has been no manned missions to Mars, back in 1984, the CIA found a different way to explore the Red Planet, according to documents declassified. Thanks to the Freedom of Information Act, the CIA used a remote viewer to see what was on Mars 1 million years ago. And what they discovered is mind-blowing, if you can believe it. Back in 1984, the CIA used a psychic known as a remote viewer to focus their mind on a location and a time and describe what they saw. The transcript of what that person witnessed on Mars 1 million years back was part of a large document dump. While the papers don't explain why the CIA wanted to see what Mars looked like 1 million years ago, they do show what the psychic saw in the civilization. Next news tomorrow night.
You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark with our host, Gary Anderson.
And here I am. You're listening to me, Gary, on Night Dreams Talk Radio. Again, please check out the website, www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. You can just click Listen Live. And when we go live, you can just listen there. The player goes live when we go live. You can listen to past shows for free. Also, we got a store. So if you want to get a Night Dreams Talk Radio t-shirt or something, you can do that. Anyway, Joe and James, are you guys there?
Oh, yeah.
I'm here.
Okay, we're all here. You know, did you hear about, it was in the news just a couple days ago, a lady in India was sitting in her living room watching TV with her baby, a newborn baby, matter of fact. And all of a sudden, here comes a cobra in the living room floor, eyes the mother and the baby, and starts going towards them. And she goes into the bedroom to try to get away from the snake. The snake is following her into the bedroom. They have a dog, a little, I'm trying to think what type of dog it was, but the dog protected the lady and the baby by killing the snake. Unfortunately, the dog died from the venom of the cobra. But, I mean, it was so sad, too, because it was talking about the dog's tail was wagging all the way up to it died. So, I mean, it tells you animals like dogs will do what they can to help protect their human, mates. But these cobras, when they single out you, they're going to attack you. I don't understand. I saw them when I was in the service. You wanted to stay clear from them because it seems like when they make eye contact with you, that's when you got a problem.
Yeah, I wonder if that mother had a confrontation with that same cobra prior to that, seeing how they remember and come back for revenge.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if that's all that happened, yeah.
I wonder how long does it take after you get bit by a cobra before you're dead? Do you have any idea, Joe?
I think it's you better get to the hospital real quick. It's not like the black mamba or one of those is really bad. You got 2 minutes and you're dead, I think. But cobras, I don't know, man. They're, I don't know. I just know they're really bad. A lot of people die over there in India every year from cobra bites. Yeah,
and they're not just in India, too. I mean, they're all over, like in Vietnam and stuff like that. You know what? I just remember when I ended up in Vietnam, and they took us into a warehouse, and one of the speeches they gave us, is if you get bit by a snake, get the snake no matter how many times you get bit. Kill it and bring it to the medic. Because without knowing what species of a snake it is, you're going to be a goner.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then you got to hope they got the venom on hand, the anti-venom. Though.
Hopefully. But if you get bit by a cobra, you're not going to, I don't think you're going to make it anyway. You know, the black mamba. There's one I was reading, I was watching on the History Channel years and years ago. Or maybe it was one of the other channels. That there's a snake that if you get bit, within a few minutes, like if you got bit in the hand, for example, your hand will turn black, and then your arm will turn black, and about 20 minutes later, you're on the ground dead.
Wow.
That sounds like that Australian brown snake, maybe, or Russell Viper or something. They're pretty nasty.
I don't know. You know, I almost died from. You're brave too. Yeah, I don't know. In Washington State, I got bit. This is going back 30 years ago. I got bit by a brown recluse. I didn't know I got bit by a brown recluse. So, you know, all I know is me and my wife went to the hot tub that night. The night before, I was stacking wood. You know, and we lived in a woodsy area, and you know, I didn't notice anything. I didn't feel any bite or anything. But the next day, me and my wife, well, let's go to the hot tub. Hey, why not? I'm in the hot tub, and I just scratched my arm or hand, and I thought it was a mosquito bite. Instead of, you know, like when you itch a mosquito bite, it kind of makes it itch more. This hurt really bad. And then, like the next morning, I woke up, and my whole hand was like twice the size. So my wife takes me down to like one of these urgent cares. And my wife is really into, you know, things. And she goes, I think he got bit by a brown recluse. Well, the doctor goes, there's no brown recluse in the state. Hands me antibiotics and says, take these. Well, the next day, because the next day I started hallucinating.
Oh, Lord.
And you know, my hand is now huge. And we had a business. This was in between radio jobs. We had a small business. And one of my customers was the chief physician at the hospital in the emergency room. And my wife says, hey, can you look at my husband for a minute? And he looks at me. And the first thing that he tells my wife, this is what I don't even remember, but this is what she told me, is get him to the hospital or he's going to die. And I came within hours of dying from a brown recluse spider. One is I was allergic to it, evidently. But you know what? I have no feeling in that area. They actually had to cut out the tissue around the bite because you know what it did? It kept dissolving the flesh around the bite. It just kept, horrible.
Yeah.
I had a cousin who was working on a manhole thing, checking a valve or something. And I guess he did something, and one of these things got into his glove and bit him. And he took his glove off, maybe it's then or a few hours later, whatever, and skin came off with it.
Oh, yeah.
And then he broke out his, around his waist, started something really going wrong with that. It got red or painful. And he finally went to the hospital, and he got bit by a brown recluse. They are bad spiders.
Oh, yeah. My wife's friend years ago got bit on the and this girl was really beautiful. She got bit on the forehead from a brown recluse.
Oh, no.
And you can imagine what happened to her. She had to go in and have plastic surgery and all reconstructive. Because, I mean, you know, she didn't know right away it was a brown recluse, but by the time, you know, you get different symptoms. In my case, you know, I was hallucinating and all this stuff. I was having trouble even breathing. I mean, that's how it affected me. But it affects people different. But the main thing it does, it destroys tissue. And it doesn't take long before it starts, you know, the tissue just starts rotting.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's I've seen a bunch of it in the museum, and you know, this in Texas we've got them, but I've killed a bunch of them, but I never have been bitten, thank God. But boy, I check everything, every dark corner. I never open a box up. Well, I don't open it very carefully and see if there's one in there, because I've seen too many bad stuff happen with those things.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of